You're sitting there, phone in your hand, you open the app, and there it is. $1 million, 7 digits, two commas, the number you've been chasing since you first Googled how to get rich without selling a kidney. You stare at it, you screenshot it. Obviously, you imagine the life, the calm, the freedom, the I don't check prices at the grocery store energy, the I could quit tomorrow confidence, $1 million, you made it. Except something feels weird. You don't feel rich, you feel normal. Your rent still hits, groceries still cost more than they did last year. Your car insurance went up for absolutely no reason, and that house you bookmarked, it's now $1.3 million and comes with charming original plumbing. Suddenly, the world shifts. Banks start offering you exclusive opportunities. Investment apps send you notifications about premium yields. Friends start talking about private deals, angel investing, vacation homes. It's subtle, but it's there. When you had $10,000, the system ignored you. When you hit $100,000, it started flirting. At $1 million, now it wants a relationship. Because here's the catch, hitting the number feels like the finish line, but it's not a finish line. It's a new starting line. And the rules change, the taxes change, the temptations change, your psychology changes. And most people who hit a big money milestone don't lose it because they're dumb. They lose it because they treat it like a win instead of a foundation. And that's why $1 million doesn't feel rich anymore. Not because it's small, but because the game shifts the second you get there. Let's zoom out. For decades, $1 million was the magic number. It was the retire comfortably badge, the made it club. But inflation doesn't care about your childhood dreams. $1 million in the 1980s had the spending power of roughly $3 million today. Visual cue, dollar shrinking animation over timeline. So when your brain says millionaire equals yacht, it's running on outdated software. Today, in many major cities, $1 million buys you a modest house and property taxes that punch you in the throat annually. And here's the part nobody talks about. Even if you don't spend it, just having the number changes how you behave. It's like running a marathon. You train for years, you cross the finish line, the crowd cheers, then someone whispers, "Cool, now do that every year or you lose your spot." Wait, what? See, $1 million invested safely might generate, let's say, 4% per year if you're following the classic don't blow yourself up approach. That's $40,000 a year before taxes, 40,000 in a world where average household spending in the US is north of $70,000. So unless you live extremely lean, the math alone says you're not living off this comfortably without touching principal. And touching principal feels like watching your lifeboat slowly deflate. This is where people panic. They chase higher returns, riskier deals, guaranteed opportunities, because $40,000 doesn't feel rich. It feels tight. And you're not broken for feeling that way. Most people don't even have $1,000 saved for emergencies. Surveys consistently show a huge percentage of adults would struggle to cover an unexpected $400 expense. So when you hit $1 million, you don't suddenly become immune to anxiety. You just have more zeros attached to it. Different level, same human brain. My name is Red. I'm obsessed with how money actually works. Not the guru fantasy version, the real version, the boring, slightly annoying, very predictable version. Quick disclaimer, this is education and entertainment only. I'm not your financial advisor. I don't know your situation. Talk to a licensed professional before making big money moves. Cool? Let's keep going. Phase one is the grind. This is the climb to $1 million. You save aggressively, you invest consistently, you say no to things, you delay gratification, you watch your net worth inch up like a loading bar from 2004. It's slow, it's disciplined, it's kind of boring, but you're focused. Phase two is where things get weird because now you've won, scarcity starts fading, and your brain goes, "We deserve this." You justified every skipped vacation, every used car, every late night. So when a luxury SUV ad pops up, it feels earned. When a bank offers you leverage, it feels sophisticated. When a private investment pitch lands in your inbox, it feels exclusive. The system is tuned for this exact moment. Financial institutions love stable people with assets. You're less risky, you're predictable, you have collateral, so suddenly you're being offered margin loans, HELOCs, structured products, alternative funds with beautiful brochures and complicated fee structures. It all sounds smart, and sometimes it is, but often it's just risk wrapped in nicer packaging. There's also lifestyle creep. You don't go from ramen to private jet, you go from economy to business class, from Honda to entry level luxury, from I cook most nights to we deserve to eat out more. Each decision feels small, but $1 million doesn't protect you from math. That's if your lifestyle inflates from $60,000 per year to $120,000 per year because we made it, your million is no longer freedom. It's a clock. And here's the psychological trap. When you were building, volatility was exciting. Market dips meant buying opportunity. Once you have a million, market dips feel personal. A 20% drop is $200,000. That's not a percentage. That's a house in some states. So people shift behavior at exactly the wrong time. They get conservative after losses, aggressive after gains. And that behavior gap, the difference between what investments return and what investors actually earn, quietly eats wealth. Let's talk simple math. If you invest $1 million and earn an average of 7% per year, that grows to about $2 million in roughly 10 years without adding another dollar. That's compound growth doing its thing. But if you pull out $80,000 per year to support a higher lifestyle and your returns fluctuate, now you're fighting both spending and volatility. There's a reason the 4% rule became popular in retirement planning. Historically, withdrawing around 4% annually from a diversified portfolio gave a decent chance of not running out of money over 30 years. But decent chance is not a guarantee, and market returns aren't smooth. They're chaotic. There are years of plus 20%, there are years of minus 20%. Data from major investment firms consistently shows that average investors underperform the funds they invest in because they move in and out at the wrong times. Not because they're stupid, because they're human and boring. Diversified, low cost, long term investing tends to beat flashy strategies over decades, which is deeply unsexy, but extremely effective. Let me tell you about Alex. Alex hits $1 million at 38. He's pumped. He upgrades the house. Not crazy, just nicer. Higher mortgage. He leases a luxury car. I worked for this. He allocates 25% of his portfolio to higher return opportunities a friend pitched. First year, great returns. He feels like a genius. Second year, market dips. The private deal locks up capital. The higher mortgage payment doesn't care. He starts pulling from investments to maintain lifestyle. A few bad years compound. He's not broke, but 5 years later, he's back under $700,000. Still ahead of most people, but further from freedom than he thought. Now Jordan. Jordan also hits $1 million, celebrates, takes a trip, buys something meaningful, then sets a rule. The first million is the floor. Jordan splits money mentally into layers. Layer one, safety. Broad diversified investments, low cost. Untouchable except for true need. Layer two, growth. A smaller portion for higher risk ideas, fun money. Layer 3, lifestyle, spending aligned with a sustainable withdrawal rate. Jordan caps lifestyle at what 3 to 4% of the portfolio can realistically support. So if markets grow, lifestyle can grow. If markets fall, lifestyle doesn't automatically expand. 10 years later, assuming average returns, Jordan's portfolio has likely doubled. Alex's might be flat, same starting point, different rules. Studies on investor behavior repeatedly show that discipline and asset allocation matter more than picking the perfect stock. It's not about being brilliant, so it's about not sabotaging yourself when you finally feel comfortable. So, what do you actually do if you hit or want to hit $1 million? Here's the playbook. 1. Decide what the number is for. Is it full retirement, partial freedom, peace of mind? Clarity changes everything. 2. Set a floor. Treat your first million like a concrete foundation, diversified, low cost, long term. This is not the casino pile. 3. Build a growth layer. If you want to angel invest, trade, start something risky, awesome. But define the percentage in advance, 5%, 10%, whatever fits your risk tolerance, not 40% because this one feels different. 4. Cap lifestyle to math, not emotion. If 4% supports $40,000 per year, don't build a $120,000 life unless you're still earning or the portfolio grows. Let math set the guardrails. 5. Be suspicious of sales. When you hit stability, you become a target. Exclusive deals, premium credit cards, tax strategies you must act on now. If it's urgent, it's probably not for you. 6. Remember what rich actually is. Rich isn't the car, it's options. It's the ability to say no to a toxic job, to a bad client, to a move you don't want. $1 million can absolutely buy that, but only if you protect it. Because the real catch is this: the system doesn't stop when you hit the milestone, it adjusts, it tempts, it taxes quietly through inflation, fees, and behavior. So if you ever reach that first $1 million, or you're on your way there, celebrate. You should, but then shift your mindset. It's not the finish line, it's the floor. Protect your first million like it's the base of a building you plan to stack freedom on top of. Because the people who actually feel rich aren't the ones who hit the number, they're the ones who keep it and let it quietly grow. That's the game. And now you know the catch.